The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico de Haan. And now, here's Nico de Haan.
Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Nico de Haan, and today is October 12th, 2012. 12/12. Beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. In fact, it's 79 degrees, got below 80, and the high is only 84 today and tomorrow. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful weekend here in Clearwater, Florida. I hope it is where you are, too. The number here is 877-927-6648. Our international number is 727-445-1044. I'd like to remind you to pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I got a new one that was out last week, another one coming up next week, and this is information that you need to know to keep healthy, wealthy, and wise, to keep you energized, to keep you on the trading factor, so to speak, to keep you sharp and make great decisions. You can reach me at 877-927-6648 or at Nico, N-I-C-O, at TFNN.com. Our shows, of course, are archived on TFNN.com and podcast on iTunes. You can see the videos, by the way, on livingaprimallifestyle.com and, of course, on YouTube if you put in TFNN and Living a Primal Lifestyle. Welcome to the show, folks. Paige is on assignment. I've always wanted to say that. But she'll be back either next week or the week after. And I got a great show for you today. You know, I'm going to be talking a little bit about jiu-jitsu. I've got the Miami Open coming up next Saturday. So I'm going to be down in Miami competing. Right now, I'm looking at the chart, and I'm the only one in my division. So hopefully somebody's going to sign up to fight me. Otherwise, I'll go down there and get a gold medal just for showing up, which is not as much fun. But you take what you can get. When you're 68 years old in the jiu-jitsu world, there's not many competitors around, unfortunately. So I think that'll change, though. I think as the movement keeps going, I think people are going to exercise more in their later years. And certainly if you start early enough, you can stay competitive, too. Speaking of competitions, there's a great competition. There's a few things going on this weekend with jiu-jitsu and MMA. And MMA, of course, mixed martial arts, big craze in the United States. And I lost interest in boxing quite a few years ago. I used to watch boxing. I used to have people over in my house all the time to watch boxing events. I remember the Leonard Hearns fights and all those great fights back in the old days. And then it just kept getting muddled up when different fighters came in, and I just haven't enjoyed it as much. When I started jiu-jitsu, my whole emphasis really started changing to MMA because I thought that was the old fights with MMA and the Gracie family were always great to watch, but I didn't watch a lot of it until I got involved myself with jiu-jitsu. And this weekend we have Anderson Silva, who's one of the real great fighters on the planet. Defending his belt for, I don't know how many times he's done. He's never been defeated. I think he was a draw once in some fight, but as a champion, he's never been defeated, so should be a good fight. But the other thing that is very interesting is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really getting together a whole new type of fighting. And this is called Metamoris, Metamoris, and you can get that at metamoris.com. And this fight, they've got 6 fights lined up. Each fight is 20 minutes long, folks. 20 minutes. There's no points, no nothing. It's just jiu-jitsu, and whether there's a submission or not. If the other guy chokes somebody out, he's the winner, or, arm bar, or all these triangles and all these things that we do in Brazilian jiu-jitsu to submit somebody to have them tap you out. It should be interesting. Some of the greatest fighters, Jim Glover, Roger Gracie, Ryland Gracie, these are top-notch people in the world going at it together. So it'll be 6 fights. It starts on Sunday. I think it starts around 6 p.m. And if you go to the site, metamoris.com, it's metamoris.com. If you're interested in that, it might be something. It costs $20, and you get it streamed, and we're going to have probably some people over to watch it, and it should be exciting. Okay? So that's it for jiu-jitsu. I've been in training for about 6 or 8 weeks, and I'm in pretty good shape, so I'm ready to go. Hopefully there'll be somebody out there that is going to meet me on the mat. Anyway, it'll be fun to go down there and see the matches anyway. I've got an article here, and this was written by, let me just see here, a guy named Christian Finn. And he was doing a study on exercise. And I'll just read you the article. And the headline is, you need to exercise for 20 minutes or more to burn fat. It's a myth. Back in 1999, when I was studying full-time at the university and working both a full-time and part-time job, one of my biggest challenges I was facing was making time to exercise. When I started university, I often failed to make it to the gym at all, even for just 20 or 30 minutes. And when I did manage to get enough enthusiasm to train, by the time I'd finished changing and warming up, it was almost time to leave because of the studying. However, after a few weeks of moaning and complaining to anyone who would listen that it was now impossible for me to do any exercise, I decided to do something different about it. My plan was to cut each workout in half. Driving to work in the morning, I'd stop at the gym and get the first half done. On my way back home at night, I'd do the second half. However, a few people I spoke to told me that you don't start burning fat until you've been exercising for at least 20 minutes. They told me I was warned that I wouldn't lose any fat at all unless I did at least 45 minutes of continuous aerobic exercise. It's true that your body relies more on carbohydrates and less on fat during the early stages of exercise. And it's also true that your body uses more fat and less carbohydrate the longer you spend exercising. But this ignores what happens to your metabolism after exercise when the number of fat calories burns tends to go up. To lose fat, you need to create a calorie deficit to consistently burn more calories than you consume. And it doesn't really make a great deal of difference whether those calories burned are in a long workout or in several short ones. Some evidence for this comes from the research carried out at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. For the study, a group of overweight women was assigned to one of two groups. Group 1 performed a single bout of exercise lasting to 20 to 40 minutes. Group 2 did the same amount of exercise, but split it up into much smaller bouts lasting just 10 minutes. 20 weeks later, the women who split their workouts into shorter bouts had lost 20 pounds compared to just 14 in the single bout group. Now, the reason for the extra weight loss is simply that the women in Group 2 did more exercise and thus burned more calories than in Group 1, possibly because they found it easier to fit shorter workouts into their day. Research published in the Journal of American College of Nutrition shows similar results. There is no significant difference in weight loss with 3 10-minute bouts of exercise compared with 2 15-minute bouts lasting 30 minutes. Changes in body composition weren't reported in this study, so we don't know how much of the lost weight came from muscle and which came from fat. I'm guessing that the women lost some muscle, which is fairly common in aerobic-only exercise. And, folks, that's why it's important to strength train naturally, do some kind of resistance training. So fat is stored as energy. To lose it, you must use more energy or calories than you get from your diet. And it doesn't really matter whether you burn these calories in one long workout or several short ones. This is pretty much proven, too. Another thing about this, folks, is that, you can exercise for 10 minutes at a time. It's not a problem. And this study pretty much shows it. And there's lots of other studies that show very similar things, and especially when they're talking nowadays about doing more instead of this the strenuous exercise in a real long session, just doing aerobic sessions. You burn calories whether you're doing aerobic sessions or whether you're doing strength training sessions or whether you're doing even some flexibility type training or yoga. Once you're into that mode of exercising, you're going to be burning calories. But what the study doesn't show, too, is that after, we're talking about changing your metabolism. So the more you exercise, experience-wise, I'm talking about now. As you exercise, you're going through the years exercising, and it doesn't matter if you're doing it 2-3 times a week, only 20 minutes or 30 minutes or even 10 minutes at a time. If you get about 75%, they're saying about an hour and a half of exercise a week, or even half of that if you're doing real strenuous exercise, is enough to keep your metabolism. If you're eating a decent diet, you're not going to be gaining any weight. And that's the really important part. Because what you're doing is you're changing your metabolism to burn these calories on a continuous basis, not just when you're exercising. So when you stop exercising, you don't slow down, burning the calories, that is. So you're going to be losing fat and burning the fat, and as long as you're strength training and not just doing continuous aerobic exercise, you're also going to be building muscle at the same time. You're not going to be losing any muscle, and it doesn't have to be 100% strenuous. You can go to that 60 to 75% level is enough to do it. And, it's all in what you perceive, too. So it's how you perceive the intensity. In other words, my intensity at 80% is going to be different than somebody else's intensity at 80%. My sprint might last 30 or 40 seconds or maybe even a minute, while somebody else is going to be sprinting only for 25 seconds. Doesn't really matter. It's what you're capable of doing, and as long as you do it. So you can go for a 20-minute walk, and in between that time do 3, 4, or 5 short sprints of 30 seconds or more, and there you've got a great workout in. And the same thing with going to these little parks. We have a park just down the road from our house. Great little place. You can go there, do some pull-ups, some push-ups, do a little balance exercises. There's many different things that you can do. Some of these parks have climbing ropes that you can do, and these are just great exercises. And it doesn't seem like you're really going there to exercise. You're basically just going there to have a lot of fun. And, that's really what I want out of my workout. When I go to a workout, I want to have fun. That's why I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it's a blast. You get to roll around with guys. You get to spar. You get the camaraderie to go along with it. Plus, you learn things in Jiu-Jitsu, because it takes so long to learn these moves and have them become instinctive. You've got a professional there helping you along the way. Our instructor, Eduardo de Lima, who's just a top-notch Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. So, it's fun to go to the parks and have your little workouts. It's also fun to get some great instructions from a person who knows a lot more than you do about it. Plus, you get the camaraderie of dealing with the people there who are doing similar things that you are. So, exercise is an important part of our health. And you need to go out and do it. You just need to find the time. And you don't have to go out there for an hour. So go out there for a 10-minute walk, a 20-minute walk, whatever you want to do, climb some stairs, but just get it done. So the number here, folks, is 877-927-6648. Remember that my Health Signals newsletter is very important for you to get this information, to figure out for yourself, do the research yourself, to find out how to make yourself healthy, how to feel good about yourself, and how to get some great exercise. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, folks. So remember, you can always reach me at nico@tfnn.com, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
80% of traders fail because they don't know when to get in or out of a market, and all because no one taught them how to read the signs. You see, the stock market has a universal language called Japanese candlesticks, and each day, the buyers and sellers, the bulls and bears, go to work and build signs. This language has been around for thousands of years, and it's easy to learn. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters Show, and I'm a master sign builder. Download my free report, Candlesticks, The Speed of Trust, on the homepage of TFNN.com for one of the best-kept candlestick secrets. I'll also be conducting an online course Friday, October 19th, to teach you the language of the market's sign builders. You'll learn the best entry and exit techniques and strategies that will create extraordinary rewards. The course will be archived so you can review it as many times as you like, because trading or investing without learning this language is like running a red light. It's an accident waiting to happen, and there's no airbags or seatbelts. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. Paige is out this week, but she'll be back, and you can call me at 877-927-6648. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. Got a great issue out here and some great recipes in there, by the way, folks, so check those out, too. You can always reach me at nico@tfnn.com if you have questions or comments and can't call in. And remember, the videos of the shows are on livingaprimal-lifestyle.com. I finished my book, folks. I think I've got it like 99% written. It's going to the editors right now. They're going to mess around with it for a while, and then I'm going to come back and do some rewriting. And by the first year, I think we should be all set to go. So that's exciting. Be glad to have this kind of behind me. It's been a huge project, and trying to get it out as quickly as I can. It's always seems to go a lot slower than you think. There's always things to put in there, and I'm still thinking of things to put in there, but I've put it down for a while now, at least until after the competition. Remind you that this Metamoris Jiu-Jitsu Invitation event is going on. It comes from San Diego, and it's metamoris.com. That's METAMORIS. I'll just read you a couple of things from that. 12 of the world's best jiu-jitsu practitioners will face off in 6 exciting bouts of 20 minutes each. No points, no advantages, victory by submission only. It's on October 14th, 2012. It's live streaming. You sign up on the website. It's $19.95. It starts, the pre-show starts at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. That's Pacific time, so that's 5:30, and the show starts at 3 p.m. You buy a virtually ticket and you watch it. You can watch it live streaming. Well, let me give you the names of the people who are participating. Hodger Gracie, and Marcus Almada are matched up. Andro Silva and Hyon Gracie. Kyron Gracie and Ativio Sosa. Dean Lister, I should say, and Isandre Ribeiro. Jeff Glover and Caio Terra, and the last one is Kyron Gracie and Rafael Lavado. So these are some of the biggest names in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all champions themselves. So it should be very interesting. They have lots of different camera angles. They've got instant replays. All that stuff is on there. So it's going to be kind of nice. I'm going to be watching it on our big screen TV. We're going to take it from our Apple computer and just bounce it onto the TV. So that should be fun. You know, I've got this article here about school help in a prescription. And this caught my eye the other day. Some doctors are giving hyperactivity drugs to help underprivileged kids improve. So what this guy, Michael Anderson, Dr. Michael Anderson, hears about his underprivileged patients struggling in elementary school, he usually gives them a taste of some powerful medicine, Adderall. The pills boost focus and impulse control in children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. He says this disorder is actually a made-up disorder, and it's an excuse to prescribe pills to treat what he considers the children's true ill, which is poor academic performance in inadequate schools. I don't have a whole lot of choice, Anderson says. He's a pediatrician for many poor families in Cherokee County, north of Atlanta. He said in an interview, "We decided as a society that it's too expensive to modify the children's environment, so we must modify the child." So really this is kind of what's going on, is that the children's, because we have poorer schools, because we have poorer teachers, because we have a bad home environment, because the child's diet probably isn't up to snuff, especially if he's eating the standard American diet, then since we can't do anything about that, we'll give him a drug to help his attention. Of course, the ramifications of this, we really... you can kind of understand your kid being on drugs that early, and who knows how long this is going to last. It's going to have dramatic effects to him in later life. I mean, it just makes sense to me. So, and this is going on. This is a huge article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But basically is what we're doing is we're saying to our children is that we're going to change your behavior through drugs. And even though we say no to drugs most of the time, these are prescription drugs, so it's okay. And we're going to give these to you because you're acting up. And you're kind of hyper, and we got to calm you down. So Adderall is a thing, or whatever else they're using. And this is commonplace, folks. There's so many kids on drugs these days, and these are the legal drugs. These are prescribed by a doctor, and this is going on all over the United States. A sickening testament to our society, folks. We need to change this. Folks, I'll be right back. It's 877-927-6648. Nico, Living a Primal Lifestyle. Pick up my newsletter, will you? Be right back.
Heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico on TFNN and Living a Primal Lifestyle. My phone number here is 877-927-6648 if you'd like to join the show and talk to me. A reminder that the Health Signals newsletter is out. Important that you pick that up. You can try it free for 30 days. It's only $10 a month, folks, for 2 issues. And these 2 issues, I don't think you can get through the whole thing in the 2 weeks. So that's how much information is in there. But, of course, you can collect them and you can do your own research is what I really want you to do. You know, food has changed a lot. You know, I was thinking the other day, I was doing some research for the show, and I thought to myself, I said, you know, the food, if you go back 100,000 years ago or 20,000 years ago, the food that was available to us was something that you would have to catch or gather, pretty much. And that type of food, you know, you really can't store it for a long time. You can dry the meat out and you can keep the nuts in your pocket or in some kind of container, but there's no real storage that takes place for longer periods of time. So the thinking is that you're going to get you know, or gather or hunt what you need today, or maybe for the next couple of days. And you get it for a group of people, not just for yourselves. And that's pretty much normal what hunter and gatherers do. And that really didn't change until the advent of, you know, somebody along the line decided that, you know, we can eat these seeds, and or they were probably pushed into it in some areas of the earth because of maybe a shortage of some kind, or I don't know quite how it happened. But all of a sudden, somebody discovered that you could take these seeds and you could. First of all, they don't sprout unless you do something to them. So you can actually gather them, and they found out if you ground them up and made them into a paste, then you could do things with them, and you can make bread out of them. And the early breads were the real flat breads and things like that, or you could add them to things, make soups and things like that, and just create a lot more food. And of course, I don't think anybody really knew the negative parts of it. Some people might not have done too well on them, but heck, when you're in a survival situation, you're going to eat whatever you have to survive. But somewhere along the line, that whole image of what we used to do on a daily or weekly basis to gather food and to make ourselves comfortable and to feed our family changed, because now all of a sudden we said to ourselves, geez, if we just eat these grains, now we can store these for a long time. And then you start thinking seasonally, because, of course, the grains take a long time to harvest. They're there. I don't know what the actual gestation period for grain is, but let's say it's 4 or 5 months. And then you have to harvest it, and then you store it, and then you can eat it whenever you want to. So you really have to plan ahead for this thing. And, of course, if there's a drought or something like that, then where you can't do it. But it changes the whole landscape of not only what you're doing on a daily basis, it also changes the earth. Because now you're going to be planting one type of plant instead of just gathering what's around you. Of course, you're staying in one place because you need to protect those plants. You're maybe building a fence of some kind so the animals don't go tromping through your garden. But that's a lot different than planting, say, just a few vegetables or some herbs and things like that. You're planting a grass that grows only from its seed, because if you don't replant it next year, it's not there anymore. So it really changed it. Of course, the next change for us was really refrigeration. When we started refrigerating things, then our food changed in another manner, didn't it? Especially dairy products, things like that. Of course, meat you can keep into a nice enclosed area, and you keep ice in there, and you can keep that meat for a heck of a lot longer. Of course, you have to come up with the ice, and it's not going to work in the Sahara Desert by any means, but there you can dry the meat. But when the refrigerator came in, and I'm not sure when that was, maybe around, I still remember back in the 50s, the Iceman coming. So I'm sure there were refrigerators before that time, but probably only the very wealthy had that. I remember the refrigerator back, I think it was in the late 50s or middle 50s, that it became pretty commonplace for everybody to have a refrigerator. Maybe it was around the same time the outhouses started getting inside. That's a different story. But that really changed everything, and it really one aspect that it changed, and Paige and I talked about milk products quite extensively the last few weeks. And, milk really changed then, because, you could keep this in the refrigerator, but to ship milk over a long distance, now you have to do another process to it. You can no longer leave it raw if you want to ship it a couple of 100 miles. So it really changed the way milk and cheese and all those dairy products were handled, and it changed the food completely. When we started the cereal companies, the Kellogg's and the Post and all those large companies, and that, again, was probably in the late 40s, early 50s. I remember when our house changed from having bacon and eggs to cereal in the morning, and that changed a lot. But what really changed, too, was, when Paige mentioned the other day about the skim milk. When we started this craze, and that might have been in the late 70s or early 80s, where the fat was vilified and saying, oh, you can't have this whole milk anymore, there's too much fat in there, and that fat means you're going to, when you eat fat, you're going to get fat, which, of course, we know is not true at all. But, that meme was set out there, and, then all of a sudden you're having cereal, and you're having skim milk. Now, we know that farmers have known for a long time, if they feed their cows, instead of grass, you feed them grains, now they get heavier, which is good for their prices, because the heavier cow means more money because they get paid by the pound. So, and we learned from Paige a couple of weeks ago that she was talking about low-fat milk is what they're feeding pigs. They're feeding them cereal and low-fat milk to fatten them up. So this is kind of what's happening in our society. We're feeding not only the breakfast cereals, but we're feeding them with the low-fat milk. And, of course, the science behind this, folks, is that when you don't get fat in your diet, you're not satisfied. Because fat is what makes us satisfied. So in other words, to satisfy us, what they've changed really, take the fat out, put the sugar in. You have to either add salt or sugar to get the same types of satisfaction. Both of those things make you gain weight. Sugar makes you gain weight because it induces insulin. Insulin is the storage hormone. It stops you from burning fat and makes you store fat. Of course, when you're adding salt, that makes you gain weight because now you have to drink more, and liquid, of course, is heavy, and it's going to make you gain weight in that way. Through a liquid. So both of these things have had real detrimental things happening to our society just because of those two products. That's not including all the different types of products like the potato chips and Doritos and all these little junk snacks that we have in all these vending machines near the schools, anywhere you go. We're getting ready to open our new dojo in the next couple of weeks, and one of the things we got was vending machines, and we found some real nice, healthy vending machines. One that has organic coffee and some other great drinks in it, and another machine that has some really great type of snacks that aren't filled with grains and are actually good for you, and you can get it out of machines. So there are things available, even in a fast food industry, that can make these meals a lot healthier than they are. We just have to get away from the modern way of thinking that we have to extrude things and change the types of food. There's plenty of fresh food out there. Jerky is one thing that you can eat, and it's not going to spike anything. And there's a lot of little nuts and things that you can eat. If you don't eat a lot of them, they're going to be good for you. So you don't have to, you can change the way you are. Now, I've got an interesting study here, and this is pretty much common sense, that avoiding sugary drinks limits your weight gain in 2 different studies. So there's a lot of studies being done on sugary drinks and even the sugar-free drinks that have fruit in them, or drinks that may have a sugar substitute in them. That shows you that you're going to be gaining weight by doing these. Even we know now that if you're just juicing and replacing your meals with juice, then you're going to be gaining weight because of all that fructose in there. So whether the fructose is natural it's manufactured from high fructose corn syrup, it's still fructose, and fructose has a little different reaction than sugar does. And it can mess up those hormones that we talked about last week. The leptin hormone, which is your satisfaction hormone, and your insulin hormone, which is your fat storage hormone. So those 2 hormones are real important. You need to get them in balance, and the only way you can balance them is by eating protein and fat and limiting your carbohydrates. And you can eat some great carbohydrates, your fibrous vegetables. You can eat a little bit of fruit, no problem. But the kind of manufactured foods that we have in our modern society are going to make you gain weight. They're going to mess up those 2 hormones, leptin and insulin, and they're going to, worse than even gaining weight, is they're going to make you ill. They're going to mess up all the other hormones that are going. Remember, all these hormones all they're trying to do is keep things in balance. And when things are flowing normally, these hormones play a real small role in what happens. When they start playing a large role in your life, that's when you get problems. But even there's a study even that I read this morning that says even a yo-yo type diet where you're eating real well for a little while and then you go off and then you go back and you do that, you're going to still do better on that than you did if you just don't pay any attention at all and you just eat what you have. And speaking of going off the deep end with this, I have a little article here I wanted to read. I got an email from one of my friends the other day, and it said, sorry if I offended you. I haven't been around at the dojo for a while. I have a problem with alcohol. So I really wanted to address that. It's nice that he got back in touch with me. Of course, he never offended me, but he probably didn't remember. but he hasn't been around for a while. He's going to go back to the JoJo, and he's fighting an addiction. And addictions are really important to understand that that's completely different, because I talk about drinking alcohol, and I talk about that certain drugs are bad and some aren't so bad. But alcohol is one of those things. If you're an alcoholic, that's a whole different bag. Okay, so let me just touch on that. How to deal with an alcoholic. First of all, experts recommend that members of family or friends can and really should do something for an alcoholic, even if the alcoholic refuses to acknowledge that they have a problem with alcohol. It's important to understand the difference between alcohol abuse and alcoholism. Get information of what alcoholism is actually from all the knowledgeable sources. Talking to a friend without knowledge of alcoholism, even though they mean well, can easily result in getting the incorrect information. So many people are often misinformed but still have an incorrect opinion about alcoholism. The most efficient tool for screening is providing a detailed history of the person's drinking behavior to a family doctor. Alcohol drinkers will be categorized as at-risk problem or alcohol dependent based on a protocol developed by the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. Ask other people for help. A friend who's recovering alcoholic or some other person that has some other understanding of alcoholism might be able to speak to the alcoholic and encourage him to get into a treatment. Okay, find out what support is offered within the local community. Almost all communities have local chapters of Alcoholics Anonymous or other groups. Avoid covering up for the alcoholic person. For instance, if an alcoholic is unable to attend work because of a hangover, do not assist by calling in sick on their behalf. Allow them to suffer the consequences of drinking alcohol. For instance, if the alcohol passes out on the floor or someplace, let them awaken there and don't attempt to move them or put them in bed. Do not encourage an alcoholic to drink under any circumstances whatsoever. Never buy them alcohol or be willing to drink with them even in a social situation. And the last thing is consider an intervention. The severity of the alcohol problem and also the individual's readiness to change should decide that intervention can be done, and you need to have the help of a family doctor, somebody in the profession, to help you with that. I think it's really important. People are addicted to drugs, whether it's alcohol or some other type of drug, and it's important that they do get help. And a lot of times they cannot do it alone. They're hooked. I've known alcoholics. I've dealt with alcoholics, and it's not a fun situation, but it's something, if you're a friend of that person, if you can get them help, if you can get other people to help them, it can change their life, and they can pick it up. I know a person who's an alcoholic that just hasn't helped themselves. Other people have tried to help them, and to no avail. And it's a sad situation, folks. So if you know somebody that's an alcoholic, please try to help them. Try to get them some professional help. Talk to people who know them and try to help them. This is what human beings do. We try to help each other. So I think it's important. The number here is 877-927-6648, and Doug is on the line, and I'll be with you right after the break, Doug, so we'll be right back.
If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle with Nico de Haan. And on the phone I have Doug from Tampa. Doug, how you doing today? Thanks for calling in.
Really good, Nico. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
The subject, I guess, I've listened to your show. I'm saying, well, maybe you're the one I need to call. I have, let me describe real quick, and I don't know how much time we have, but...
Got about 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm 56,
Uh-huh.
and active, slender, a lot of mostly swimming, boating, fishing, things like that, but of the group I hang with, I'm always the one that's much more enthusiastic and active.
Uh-huh.
I go to the gym for years now, not to make big gains or anything, just to try to maintain and try to keep, a good shape, good
Sure.
physique, and healthy.
That makes sense.
Reoccurring pains that I'm having, muscular pains on my arms, it just keep me from going to the gym. They keep me from doing dips, presses, anything overhead. The only time I've kind of gotten them to go away, and this is kind of weird, but a few years back I started drinking a product called Monavi, and it's just like a major reversal in all my pains, and I'm going back to the gym and everything. Well, it's just so expensive, I quit drinking it after a while.
What was in this?
It's just an extreme antioxidant, mostly.
Okay.
But they put other ingredients in there. I think maybe some chondroitins,
Uh-huh.
things like that. But I stopped drinking. I was okay for a while and going back to the gym, but gradually started getting these pains back. Went to the doctor. He says take Advil. See me in a month.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
I called a line the other day called the Herbal Pharmacist, and he gives me a list of about 10 different things to go to the health food store and get. And I'm not connecting with any of these things, and wonder if you have like a sports clinic or if your performance training, do you handle?
Well, I handle advice on that. Usually when we're talking about diet, I try, one of the things, aches and pains come about from, trying to get fat out of your diet, because your cells need fat in them. And you need fat to burn, and there's a lot of things that can be added to your diet that can maybe calm your body down. Usually, pain results from some type of inflammation. So things that are anti-inflammatory, like your omega-3s, can help. Also, some herbs and things that might have been in that drink could possibly have helped you also. Some of it doesn't need to be expensive. A lot of your fresh fruits and vegetables have those same types of ingredients, and you don't need a lot of them.
Right. In eating more of those things lately, trying to get that into my diet a lot.
Yeah, and also eliminating some of the things that do cause inflammation, like grains and beans. Your excessive carbohydrates, things like that can really change in how you feel.
Yeah, these are actually fairly specific pains right in my shoulders. Like you reach to the side and you grab your muscle right there and just take your index fingers and push in right in there, and they actually move around. Really no other.
Yeah, it could be adding some flexibility into your training. I'd be glad to talk to you, specifically, or you can drop by the studio sometime or make an appointment with me, and I'd be glad to go over some of these things and just give you some advice on it. I'd be glad to do that.
Oh, okay, and to make an appointment.
You can call me at 727-418-8740. And we can discuss it over the phone, or if you feel like you need to come in, we'll have you come in and we'll talk about it.
I need to do something because this is, like I said, this has just been an absolute nuisance to me, and I appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for calling. I appreciate it, Doug, and give me a call. Okay, folks, that's the show for today, and I'm going to be in Miami next week for the tournament. I'll let you know how I do, and meanwhile, live a primal lifestyle.